So if you pay attention to that, that's got pulsing communication patterns inside of it. So this is the middle of the night. I've been woken up multiple times today, and this just shows incoming microwave radiation hitting my environment that I'm being harassed with. So there's proof, again, of electronic harassment. And this is, like I said, the middle of the night. And this is scientific equipment. This is the go-to tool used in universities all across the globe for electrical engineering, microwave engineering, and physics. This is definitely picking up this incoming blast of electrons. And this is undeniable scientific evidence that I am being indeed harassed with radio frequencies. And there's communication here that is very obvious. It's being pulsed with microwave auditory effect. So I just once again proved that that conspiracy theory is not a conspiracy theory, guys. So we need to update the webpage, and we need to arrest the people that are using radio frequencies to harass American citizens, and this needs to be looked into all around the globe. What is that, 5 minutes, and I proved that this is real. Only 5 minutes is all it took. And once again, guys, I'm blocking microwave auditory effect. I'm not hearing their incoming speech while I'm doing this. look at this meter just going absolutely bananas. So this is an assault on people's brains, and I'm documenting that, and this should be looked into unless this is being used by agencies, you know what I mean? So just think about that for a second. Obviously this would have been looked into and stopped if they wanted to stop it. But instead, they're molesting the web pages about it, lying to people about it, killing people with it, and making Manchurian candidates. Oh, and this is against the Constitution and the United Nations Convention Against Torture. In addition to just being illegal with the laws of the land, this is deliberate harassment. So I put my hand on a Bible right now and promise you that this is incoming microwave auditory effect that I'm harassed with daily. This has been going on for years. Notice how I'm pointing this thing straight up in the air. Just use your imagination on why. And I can also pick up cell towers and microwave towers, as well as panel array antennas that are transmitting this microwave auditory effect at me with this. And not only can I do it with this, I can do it with handheld Texan radio, and I can do it with software-defined radio, as well as many other things, because this is not hidden as much as you might think it is. It's lied about regularly. So once again, on this spectrum analyzer, the only thing we can see here, zoomed all the way out, is their blast incoming. And on a different piece of scientific equipment, I'm picking up their incoming communication. Right here, check it out. Again, undeniable scientific proof that I am indeed being harassed with radio frequency communication at a power level that's so strong. Look at what it does to my meter, y'all. So when your brain is operating on millivolts, these milliamps make a very real effect on your brain. So that is a lot of electricity that I'm being shot with, and there's obvious communication inside of it as well. If you know anything about radio communication and picking up speech patterns or clips or anything about audio, as well as science or any other number of topics that you could use your skills to recognize this speech incoming. And also, I've been going through microwave auditory effect for many years, and that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. You know what I mean? So, just to put it in perspective, I went out of my way to discover what's happening, and I did discover what's happening. This is radio frequency harassment happening to United States citizens, which is extremely, extremely illegal. And it's happening at a very high level. And I promise you that's a valid statement that is factual, and anybody that tells you otherwise or tries to lie about this topic is just a liar, and they should be exposed for that. So you see how strong that meter is going. And more importantly, listen to their speech coming in. So this proves it without a doubt. The electronic radio frequency, computer-guided frequencies are being laser focused on to select individuals 24/7 to harass them. Just to show you how much it's hitting my hand. So that's definitely a high frequency laser blasted communication that's got speech inside of it, and they're blasting it at people to bring psychological torment. This is electronic torture. This is constant harassment with radio frequencies. That those web pages that are molested, that I talked about in my last video, those are manipulated, that's proof of this manipulated evidence. And here's more evidence that this truly is occurring on scientific equipment that you can find in universities all across the United States. And here's another tool, the software to find radio. This is picking up the same sort of deal. And this again, you see how much it's hitting my hands. Sorry if the camera sucks, but this is definitely happening, without a doubt. That's the point of this. It's not to make a a great, perfect video. It's to prove that this radio frequency harassment is happening. You know, people are very picky about what sort of videos they like nowadays because we're used to millions of dollars being spent on videos all the time. This is just to relay science, okay? This is not the new feature film that's in the movie theater, obviously. So there's incoming fluctuating pulse that has communication riding with it. That's the whole point of this. So I imagined watching a video like this myself, and I wouldn't want just a 2-minute video with a topic like this. So what's really happening is, this is a horn antenna that, like I said, is used at universities all over the globe. This is a PASCO microwave receiver. Let me see if I can try to get a decent angle. And basically this is picking up incoming radio frequency. And then what you're hearing is their speech of the people that are harassing me with radio frequency. So then if you look how I just proved this with scientific equipment, saying that I guarantee the validity of each one of these statements, because this is what's happening to me. I've been spending my time trying to determine how I'm being communicated to. I've known it's a radio frequency communication for a very long time. And the moral of the story is, I could go around my room right now and pick up a variety of different things that would prove and document this incoming pulse radio frequency that has communication inside of it, riding with it, etc. So like I said before, and I'll say it again, 100% this proves radio frequency harassment. And so does that software-defined radio. If you were to pull up this software-defined radio, observing the radio spectrum here, you'll see that this is the largest blast incoming. And it's not just on 1.9 gigahertz, it's also right here as well. And if I were to keep on scrolling around the spectrum, you'd see that it's all over there. And that's all, it's this every single time. It's got the same characteristics of that every single time. So there's no policing of this radio spectrum that needs to be happening, because this is just obvious harassment. And this device is like at least 15 years old, and the handhelds nowadays, people could go around and immediately see this incoming radio frequency harassment in real time and have it modulated, because it's QAM. It's being sent like QAM, just like our phones and our Wi-Fi. So there you go, there's some information about this, and here's absolute proof with scientific equipment that electronic harassment is happening, radio frequency harassment is happening, and sorry the video quality is not as good as it could be, but there's proof of incoming radio frequency communication happening. And like I said, it's the middle of the night right now, so I'm being harassed, communicated to, pulsed with these frequencies, attacked, and you know, people want to try to cover this up, so I'm going to make sure to talk about it, because this is illegal as hell. And the people that are doing this, there's a lot of people involved in this, they need to go to prison. The people going through this need to be paid out a lot of money for going through this, because this is absolutely cruel torture that's being done with electronic means to leave the smallest amount of trace possible. Okay, so now imagine them manipulating the search results on this topic, because I've proven that in the last video also. And if that wasn't convincing enough, I could spend 2 or 3 hours on the topic talking about how the search topic is manipulated, but it's just not worth, well, it is worth the time, but the moral of the story is I'm not going to do that right now. The topic is very manipulated, and here's proof on scientific equipment. So there's nothing I could do to make this happen other than research and figure out how to receive this incoming harassment that is a radio frequency. Okay, so there's nothing I'm doing to generate these results. This is all real science happening in my environment. And this shows and proves this is pulsed radio frequency at a high frequency. Okay, above 10 gigahertz. 10 gigahertz, around 10 gigahertz. It's not only there. If you look at Dr. James C. Lynn's book, and this software-defined radio I just showed, that it's showing itself in all over the spectrum. The threshold touches all over. The microwave auditory effect threshold is underneath 1 gigahertz and over 1 gigahertz. And with current modulation techniques, you know what I mean? It's hard to stick to that standard, especially because science is a practice. So all I'm trying to tell you is there's a lot of different frequencies that this is occurring at, but it is obvious because of the power that is needed to do it. So notice how I'm not worried about picking up my signal from my cell phone or anything like that, because this is significantly stronger than that. So if you're going through this and you want to try to determine how to protect yourself, it is not easy at all. Especially when drones can do this, satellites can do this, cell towers can do this, every single panel antenna can do this. Okay? And there are a lot of people that don't care and don't really understand this. So just to put it in perspective, going through this